Hey guys, how are we doing today? I'm George and welcome back to a brand new video. And for today is going to be the Swindon Sound Crew. We're on episode 2. I do apologise for this being late. I've had a couple of problems with my microphone recently on Sony Vegas, so hopefully everything sounds fine now. I don't know what was going on, but hopefully I fixed it and we shall go from here. But as you see here, we've added these players to the shortlist, like, you know, the likes of Ben Woodburn and stuff like that. But they're not interested in joining our club now. And obviously that's kind of like a big thing, because obviously I wanted them to join, obviously. But now they're not interested. Either they're not interested or the club's not interested in selling them. So that is kind of a big problem. So we are going into our pre-season tournaments. We drew 2-2 against a side that I can't pronounce. All I know is called Cologne. It's not the Cologne you probably know. But we got our first point on the board with a 2-2 draw. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's overly the end of the world, guys. Don't worry about it. It's not like to the point where I'm actually struggling to think of any other players. But for right now, when I was like at the time you were seeing recording this, it's not a big deal. But I'm just letting you know, guys, what was going on and why I'm not, you know, signing your guys as players, or at least scouting them at least. So there's obviously a couple of players as well that I still wouldn't mind bringing in, but I don't feel like we need to strengthen too much. It was only really like the centre-back role that I feel like we needed strengthened, and then potentially a midfielder slash cam that can sit behind the striker, because we only got Goddard, who is a natural cam. Obviously we can still play Paul Mullin there as well, but still it's not really what I wanted to do. We do get a loan offer for Jordan Young. I believe it's from Exeter, which I was like, well, okay, I suppose. I mean, he's not going to play for them, but I believe he rejects them anyway. I'm pretty certain he does, but I could be wrong. But I think this is our third game going into it now against Shamrock Rovers. So obviously, I think if we win this, we go through to the semi-final. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. But we do win 2-1 anyway. Anderson getting a goal and Chris Hussey again getting on a score sheet, which I'm very happy with, obviously. And we just keep going forward. So yeah, Jordan Young says he doesn't want to go to Exeter, which is fine. We do get 264,000 in the tournament, which is good. And we also obviously rested Johnny Goddard, and he was pretty happy with the fact that we didn't, you know, do anything with him. But I was a bit skeptical, because obviously I could have paid 1.8 million for Adebayojo. I think that's how, I don't know how you pronounce the guy's name, but I didn't really want to do that. I was a bit like, do I want to do it? Do I not? Because obviously he doesn't want to join. And I didn't really know what to do, really. So obviously I was trying all my best, as you can see there. I was trying to, like, not willing to relocate. It wasn't like no one wanted to sign for us, which is fine. We are in League 2, which doesn't help. But I think if that continued, then I was a bit annoyed. But one of those things that we can't really do about at the moment. But there is other targets I will still look at as well, so it's not overly a big deal. We are looking for another right back, obviously, as well. We actually looked at Fraser Ed. He's a free agent. I think he's 64 overall. And I thought, wow, I might as well go for this guy, because he looked okay. He's only 22 years old. And we are going to approach to sign him, obviously, because I felt like we needed... Because I wasn't really a fan of Ben Purkis, and Kyle Noyle wasn't really the best overall. So this is the first time you're seeing this. This is the first time I saw this for, obviously, when I played this. And I was obviously looking... I was basically telling him, look, like, what do you want? Like, do you want, you know, a crucial first team player, which I was gonna be fine with. I didn't mind giving him a crucial first team player, because he's better or as good as Ben Purkis, who I think is probably one of the most awfulest players I've ever seen in a Swindon Town shirt. But that's just my opinion. So he does accept the crucial first team player role. Now I kind of feel like I messed up a little bit, as in, like, this is my first time I've ever done this. So I did offer 3 years, which I was like, okay, that's not that bad. Because I thought, like, you know, he's 22 years old, 3 years, I'll take that any day of the week. I was going to disregard the release clause, because there's no point in having a release clause, realistically. So I said nah to that, like, he's not having that. So the wage, he was on, I believe, like, it says recommended wage 6,600, which I was fine with. But it was just a signing on bonus. I wasn't really too sure on what I really wanted to do. I offer 5,000 a week, which I felt like was fine. I didn't really know how to really approach the sign-on bonus, because I don't know. Basically I just didn't really know what to do. And then for clean sheets, I think I went for like 50 10,000, no, 20,000 clean sheet for if he gets 10. I didn't really know what to do, but he took it anyway, so I'll take it any day of the week, which is fine. But I wasn't really too sure on how that actually worked. Like, I know that sounds really, really silly, but honestly, I didn't really know if that. I just didn't know. I just didn't know. But he's obviously a 64 overall rated player, and I think is not a bad signing. Obviously, our first signing of the window, so I'm pretty happy with that. Will Henry, Portsmouth wanted him on loan. I was going to accept it anyway because I wanted him to go out on loan, but I think again he rejected his move to Portsmouth, which is fine. He didn't want to see Nathan Thompson anymore, which is fine. I'm not overly a big deal with that. That's fine. It's up to him. But obviously that was just the way it went. So yeah, he did reject his loan move again, which is fine. I wasn't overly bothered about it. You know, if he didn't want to go there, it's not a big deal. But we do sim this game here. I believe this is the semi-final of the European International Cup, which is, you know, fine. Like, I obviously if we won it, that's more money for us. But I believe obviously I skipped it and we won 5-4 on penalties, which I'll take anyway. So it gives us a clear indication that the squad is good enough to compete in this kind of tournament. And I also believe we got £396,000 from that as well. And I believe we're going into the final in this one. So we got our first signing so far. Obviously, let me know if there's any other players you want me to sign. Maybe not in this window, but maybe in the January transfer window. Because obviously, I would assume maybe we could go from there, I guess. And if we do win 4-3 on penalties again, I believe we went 1-0 down as well, and we did actually in the 10th minute. But God, I made it 1-1, and we won on penalties 4-3. And I believe that means we've won the International Cup, which is good for us. It's the first bit of silverware for Swindon Town, which is not bad. Barnett obviously come in with a £320,000 bid for Johnny Goddard, and I was like, no mate, I'm not having that. Like, Goddard's not going anywhere. And we got £440,000 from that as well. So I wasn't obviously prepared to let Johnny Goddard go. I mean, he's 24 years old. I know he's only 60 overall, but he's one of our better players in the side anyway. And I feel like his overall doesn't really reflect on how good he is in real life. That's just my opinion. And that's just me. Like, he should be at least a silver. But they're saying that he has had a bit of worries with injuries and stuff like that. But you'll see here as well, our youth squad player comes in. Obviously, our Scout Future Star. He's got a potential of 63 to 81. Now, I was a little bit annoyed by that, to be honest. Because I felt like, well, I thought at least if you get a Scout Future Star, there'd be at least a 90 overall potential. Or maybe 89 at a push. But I decided to accept it anyway, because obviously I wanted the player in. And unfortunately, he's a striker. I would have preferred either a cam or a midfielder or a left winger. But or basically anywhere except striker, because we have enough strikers anyway. But he's 58 rated overall to start off with. I probably will train him. But he has got low work rates, as you'll see in just a sec. Yeah, as you see there, low work rates. He's 6'2". I mean, he's only got 3-star weak foot, 2-star skill, so he's not overly brilliant. But this was one of the main guys I was looking at. Like, I looked at him on SoFIFA. Yes, I did cheat a little bit. Looked on SoFIFA, but we do meet up with the not Crystal Palace, the Charlton Athletic manager, to see if we could potentially sign Conser, who can actually play CDM as well as centre-back. So obviously I wanted another centre-back in. That was my main target for this window. And I was kind of thinking, well, what do I really go for? So I offer, I believe, £650,000, which I was pretty set on that kind of amount. I wasn't really going to want to go any more than that. And I think we do a 10% salon clause, which I think we do, or maybe 5. Yeah, it is 5. So we do a 5% salon clause as well as 650,000, which I think is fine. Because obviously, like, the salon clause kind of makes him feel like, well, if we get 5% off. Well, we get 5% off. We get basically 5% of what you sell him for. So a lot of times, like, you know, a lot of clubs will go for that, obviously. But I can't believe I said, I don't know why I said 5% off for, but we do sign for £650,000. Obviously, we needed to go through the contract situation, which is obviously the most important part, because I didn't want to get this wrong. You know, he wants an important first team player role, which is fine. I was going to give him crucial anyway, but if you wanted important, then that's fine by me. I did accept that, which is more than fine. But you know, obviously he's going to be one of our main starters, because he's got good potential as well as Conser, so he's pretty good. Let's see how. I think we offer him we're trying a 4-year deal, but I think he only wanted a 2, so we offered 3 in the end, which I wasn't overly happy when he said I wanted a 2-year contract, because he's only 19 years old, so obviously he doesn't want to be here for long. But I said, well, 3 years, and I take a 3-year. Like, that's not a big deal. Like, a year off his contract that I would have liked, which is fine. Hopefully he will sign for us when we need him to. We didn't want to do a release clause once again. And then, like, this, again, like, it's always his current wage and his salary. I didn't really know what to offer him, because, obviously, I didn't know how much he was, like, I didn't know how much his wage was. So I offer him 3,500 a week, and a sign-on bonus, I believe, of, like, 500 or, I think it was 50,000, or 100, I can't remember what it was now. I think it was, yeah, 100,000 sign-on bonus, which I thought, well, that's not that bad, surely. And then, again, clean sheets. I believe I did for 10 or 15, and then I give him an extra 50,000. So I was a bit worried, because I didn't really know what to do. That's why I probably went a little bit overboard in certain aspects. So obviously, hopefully, when I get through this kind of thing, hopefully it's all good. But I didn't really know what to do. So obviously he was happy with it, and I take it and run with it. And now we've got Concert in as one of our players, so I'll take that any day of the week. So that's 2 signings, a right back and a centre back, and the board are happy with our youth program, because we basically just, signed the Scout Future Star, which is kind of like an easy target, really. But Concert, I believe, is a 62 overall, so obviously 1 below, I think, Robertson, higher than Conroy, but I believe Lancashire's like 2 ratings higher than Concert, which is fine. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching the video, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you guys did enjoy the video. Remember to subscribe if you guys are on it. And I'll speak to you guys very soon, guys. So, guys, have a good day, and goodbye.